10 elemental characters as humans. Elemental, the new and most recent animated movie of Disney and Pixar that has impressed all of us. Elemental is such an original and fresh-looking animated movie, mainly because Pixar decided to use revolutionary techniques to create the wonderful and absolutely mesmerizing world we see in the movie. A world full of magic and fun that really makes it hard for you to get bored when you're watching the movie. Pixar's Elemental is a movie that has crossed all of the boundaries in the animated industry. From the graphics, which look insanely well done, a perfect mix between realism and animation, the attention to detail of every character, scene, and environment is absolutely fantastic. Just look at Wade, for example. The way his watery body looks and acts in every scene is just a joy to watch. To the original plot of this fantastic movie, a world where all of the elements of the world coexist together even though they are opposite elements. Elemental is probably the best animated movie of this summer. The tone, the vibrant summery colors, and the fun water scenes really make you want to live in that elemental world and go through all of the adventures that Wade and Ember go through. Overall, Elemental is such a beautiful and awesome animated movie that really shines for its greatness. Elemental tells us the story of Ember, a very witty girl from the element of fire who lives in Element City, a place where the elements of the universe, air, water, earth, and fire all live in harmony with one another. But one day, while Ember is in the basement and the pipes break, and the water starts pouring out of nowhere, Wade, the second main character of the movie, comes out of the water and they bond with each other instantly. These two opposite elements will discover something great about each other, how much they have in common even though they are completely opposite elements, and it will show us that sometimes in life, opposites can attract. In the process, the two will go through the most fun and amazing adventures trying to figure out who they truly are. But the characters in Elemental are animated. Even though they look very real with the realistic animation, they are still animated. Wouldn't it be amazing to see how Ember, Wade, and all the other characters in Elemental would look like as humans? Well, that's what we're about to see here today, guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into the 10 Elemental characters as humans. Let's go, guys. Ember Lumen. She's the main character of Elemental. She's one of the most original and dynamic characters we've seen in a very long time from Pixar. As a child, she emigrated with her parents to Element City, the metropolis where all of the elements of the universe live and have fun together, even becoming friends. We see this at the beginning of the movie, right in the introduction. Her parents reach Element City on board of a small boat. They see the city surrounded by fog, and they land at the shore. Once they land, we see all of the amazing and different characters in the movie. Characters from the earth element, characters from the water element who come into the city in an underwater vehicle that just pushes them out into the city, and much more. Such a funny scene. Fast forward, they find a house to settle in, and here they give birth to Ember. She's the first of the family to be born in Element City, and after this, Ember grows up as a fun, kind, and very hard-working girl who takes care of her parents' business. In a very little montage, we see her go from a small baby to a grown teenager in a matter of seconds, as she learns, sees, and experiences everything in the world that surrounds her in the city. It's such a beautiful and very funny scene. But because she's made of fire, Ember also has a very short patience and gets angry very easily. When this happens, she turns purple and creates all sorts of fire eruptions around her. But being the daughter of immigrants, Ember realizes how much her parents had to go through to give her a better life, and she's determined to prove herself in front of her parents and show them that she is really worth it and they didn't sacrifice all their lives for nothing. She has a very big willpower, and this is maximized when she meets Wade, the guy who changes her life completely. With Wade, Ember starts learning about herself and discovers her true talent, which is glass making. As Ember spends more time with Wade, she falls for him more, and he also falls for her in return. But she has to keep her feelings secret in front of Wade and in front of her parents, since he's a character from the water element, an opposite of the fire element. They can't hang out with each other at all based on the laws of Element City, let alone fall for each other, which is the dilemma here. As she's stuck between this dilemma, she has to go through multiple challenges in the movie to make the impossible finally possible. Overall, Ember is a great character, charismatic, charming, and fun at all times. And looking at her physical appearance, we can see that she's made out of fire and she's taller than her parents. Now guys, the real question, how would Ember look like as a human? Great question, guys. Well, let's see it. Here it is, guys. In this picture, we see Ember as a full human girl, just like me and you. She looks exactly like her fire form, but as a human. As we can see in the picture, Ember here has red hair to match her animated fire fire appearance. She has a huge smile, and as we can see from the picture alone, we can tell that she's super funny, always smiling, and charismatic just like in the animated form. She is a little bit tanned and not fully white, referencing again her fire appearance in the animated form. She has a slim body, exactly the same as the one we see in the movie. She is wearing a black summer dress, and her eyes are beautifully yellow and big, very similar to the ones we see in the animated version. Now, we also have another artwork of her human version, but it doesn't look as similar. But this is it, guys. Here in this artwork, we can see that she looks less similar to her fiery form. In this one, Ember is fully white. She still has yellowish eyes and looks like Ember in some ways, but it's not quite as accurate as the previous one. Still, they're both amazing art pieces that show us how the main character of Elemental would look like as a fully human person. Very, very interesting, guys. Wade Ripple, the second main character of Pixar's Elemental. He's the funniest and most chill character in the entire movie, lighting up all the scenes and moments wherever he goes. That's why he's known to be the go-with-the-flow guy. Not only is this a reference to his watery form and shape, but it's also a reference to his attitude and positivity towards the future. He just doesn't care about anything at all. He's as funny and charismatic as it can get. That makes every moment where he's present absolutely funny and amazing. We first see Wade in the movie and comes into Ember's life when Ember is in her parents' store and their pipes begin to shake. While she's in the basement, one of the pipes bursts out and water starts pouring out everywhere. She's obviously hurt by the water that touches her since she's made out of fire, and let's say that water and fire don't get along in the real world. When they mix, it becomes steam, which is what we see right here in this part where she's touched by water. She then eats a pair of wood logs and recovers fast, but as she's doing this, she starts seeing something move in the water, and then out of nowhere, Wade comes out of the water crying because he's emotional at the baby picture that Ember has in her basement. This is when Wade first meets Ember, and without her knowing it, her life changed right in the moment. She then gets incredibly mad at him and turns purple, which is a sign of her getting mad and about to burst out in the same manner that the pipes did in this scene. And once she bursts, there is no going back, guys. She bursts out. Then we see that Wade is actually an inspector. He runs away from her to report the inconsistencies he saw in the pipe systems of her shop, and she starts chasing him across the city to stop him from reporting it. One of the best scenes of the movie, honestly. She begins to chase him, and we see the whole magic and incredible scenery of the movie in this scene right here. Absolutely beautiful. Ember chases Wade all over the city. In the train, she even takes out an umbrella and flies away to get away from the crowd to get to him faster. She tries absolutely everything, but when she catches up to him, it's already too late. She finds that Wade has already reported the problem to the department, who is directed by a guy from the Earth element, and he sends the report, which means that there is no going back at that point. And he tells her that the shop will have to close in a week due to the faulty pipe system. Well, fast forward, after this, she follows him to the Airball Stadium, where Wade's favorite team is playing, and while Wade is walking to the stadium minding his own business and listening to music, she comes out of nowhere from his bag and scares him. The reason she followed him was to talk to his boss and resolve the pipe problem. He then convinces her to come with him to the Airball game, and this is where the story of Wade and Ember starts. From here, Wade becomes like a motivator to Ember. He pushes her to the limits and makes her know more about herself without being scared to test new things and find out more about herself and her purpose in life. In fact, he makes her see that it's more beautiful and it has more merit to pursue one's dreams. They go together to the game, and Ember has an argument with the character from the air element, of course, as always, and Wade's favorite team ends up winning the game, and Wade accompanies Ember to her house. After this part, they meet again to try to fix the problem with the pipes, and then they take a trip through the city at night in a hot air balloon. This is the moment when we see the two guys falling for each other. She will try to hide it, but it's clear that she likes him a lot. The thing we notice in the movie is that the more they are around each other, the more they fall for each other. He goes with the flow and has no stress whatsoever. Literally, the guy doesn't stress about anything. And as we see in the movie, Wade's appearance is composed of water, and he always wears very casual clothes like we see in this scene of the stadium and many more. Now, how would Wade Ripple look as a human? Well, say no more, guys. Here it is, Wade as a human. In here, we can see that Wade would be a blonde, a clear reference to his shiny and colorful personality. Of course, with blue eyes to reference his watery animated form. He would also be white, and as we can see here from his face, he looks exactly like him. I mean, if we put them apart from each other, there's literally no difference whatsoever. He even has his very casual clothes that he wears all the time in the movie, and obviously his big, charming smile that lights up everything around him. It's such a cool piece that shows us how he would look like as a human to the most exact point. It's such such a great and amazing piece of art. And well, my guys, that's all the dose of DJ there is for today. I really hope you guys like this video and like these 10 elemental characters as humans. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, my guys. Peace!